Ooh, yeah, a bit on the hot side. Wouldn't you agree with me? Hotter than we should be, hotter than the averages. And I'll talk about those averages in just a moment. But yeah, for the rest of this weekend, hot temperatures. So make sure you take care of yourself. I'm going to share some heat-related tips in just a moment. We do get some storms. They're going to be isolated to the San Juan Mountains, and hardly rain will fall. It'll be mostly gusty outflow winds, but some rain could fall. But look, we're in a very dry pattern, and we're also cooking things, so our temperatures are running well above the averages for this time of the year. Courtesy of a ridge of high pressure, that's going to continue into, as of now, with the extended forecast, that goes until next week, middle of next week. But now we're starting to see that this high pressure system is so strong, it's going to be difficult to break down and give way to less hot temperatures this time next week. Next weekend, we're hoping that this will break down. But as it stands right now, it hasn't moved a whole lot in the last 48 hours. Kind of migrated from Colorado to Nevada, back into Utah. It's going to stay in Utah for the next couple of days, at least through the start of next week. So that just reinforces the dry conditions, reinforces the hot temperatures. Very hot conditions in Southern California, Southern Nevada, in portions of Southwest Arizona. Now, the circulation on the high pressure system, always clockwise. And when you get on the bottom edge of this, you got to realize some of those wind speeds in California could be offshore, and that could be a Santa Ana situation, but generally that's reserved for a little bit later into the fall pattern. But nonetheless, we still have this high pressure system that's not going anywhere. The problem with that is, originally we were talking, maybe we would start to see some tropical storm influence riding up the Baja Peninsula, riding up the Sea of Cortez, Eastern Pacific hurricane activity. We were hoping that that would help feed a nice moisture source into the region. But when this high pressure system is holding steady with so much strength that it will deflect those tropical storms away from us. Now, in order for this high pressure system to break down, what we really need are those fall and winter cold fronts originating in the Pacific Northwest, actually originating in the Gulf of Alaska, actually originating in Japan. So we get these little storms lined up one after another, swinging through from the Pacific Northwest with cold fronts. We had a frontal system pass through the Front Range last night, courtesy of the storm coverage. Some of that leftover energy on the backside is responsible for the storms we experienced today in the San Juan Mountains. And we could see some lingering tomorrow, but again, it's going to take more than just a couple of these cold fronts passing through the region to our north. And if we don't get those to break down this high pressure system, then it stays put all through next week. Now, as it stands right now, we're just going to go until about Wednesday. You'll notice we dropped the temperatures off, but that's not something I'm willing to hang my forecast hat on. Late next week, Thursday and Friday, I think we may actually continue in the upper 90s instead of cooling off. I don't think those cold fronts passing by to our north are going to amount to all that much. Now, the repetition of them passing through every other day may eventually erode and shift that high pressure system. So that is something we're going to be watching for next weekend. In the meantime, we still have plenty of heat. We have near record temperatures, upper 90s, low 100s for Grand Junction. That's where we sit with records, and we'll be looking at opportunities to get one more 100-degree day. That would be the 14th if we could just bag one more of those, and we have 3 more in the forecast. So with that being the case, folks, please make sure you look in on others with this heat. Make sure you feel the sidewalk when you're walking your dog. I dare you. If it's too hot for your hand, it's too hot for your pup's paws. And this is a busy weekend. A lot of people are out and about driving. There's some stress, there's hectic, there's family. There's a lot going on. I just want you, if you're a caregiver for a child, if you're a parent, and a caregiver can mean a family member watching children or even a babysitter, I want to remind you, just please check the back seat. Don't bother bringing your pets with you on your quick little jaunts to the supermarket. You can't leave them in your car in this type of heat.